Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay Area. On today's episode, the Sharks win 4-3 in overtime. Erik Karlsson remains awesome. I don't care what you say. I don't care about the contract. Erik Karlsson's awesome, and I apologize to Logan Couture. So all that, plus your 3 fries of the week, and more on today's episode of Locked On Sharks.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor at Fear the Fin and San Jose Hockey Now. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts. And of course, subscribe on YouTube as well. And they did it. Erik Karlsson is amazing. Logan Couture shoves it in my face. I don't know what else you want. Sharks win 4-3 over the Maple Leafs. And what was... We have a new formula for the Sharks here. We'll get into that in a minute, but really fun game. And it's when Erik Karlsson is doing Erik Karlsson stuff, there's not too many other people that are more fun to watch. So before we start breaking down this game, really get into it, do want to let you guys know today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline's got you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than before. So BetOnline, where the game starts. I think we have to start with Erik Karlsson. Tonight was one of those Erik Karlsson nights, and we've had a couple of them here and there. You know, we've had some nights where Erik Karlsson has made some really bad plays, like last game against Vegas, specifically against another Karlsson. But then we have nights like tonight where he still proves that he can be the best player. And Erik Karlsson, and it wasn't just in the offensive zone, it was also in his own zone. And, you know, the hip check, of course, where his stick gets stuck in the bench and he's got, I think it was Nylander coming right at him. He's able to, kind of angle him onto the outside, hip check him. I don't think it was Nylander. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Able to hip check him and get the play going, and then is able to kind of like help get the puck out, even though he still doesn't have a stick. This is all in one shift in his own zone. And then on the game winner in overtime, which we will get to the Couture. We will get to I know you guys are waiting for me to hear about the start of overtime, but he comes out, off the draw. They lose the draw. And it looks like it's going to be a breakaway. He comes out. He does enough. Again, we know Erik Karlsson is not a shutdown defenseman. He does enough so that way he can get helps back. He does a great job of keeping the Leafs from getting a shot off on Kaapo Kähkönen. Helps that way he can get help back. Timo and Hurdle get on their horses and get back. There's a pass that's across, and Timo is able to kind of poke it, corral it, and then Erik Karlsson is off to the races. Breakaway, no doubter, especially with those sweet, sweet Swedish hands. You knew that was going in. Erik Karlsson, 3 points tonight. For the season, Erik Karlsson, it puts him at, I believe, 9. Are we looking at 9 points in 10 games for Erik Karlsson? So, yeah. 9 points for Erik Karlsson in 10 games. We are almost at a point per game for Erik Karlsson early into this season on a team that is, again, coming into this game, they were still scoring less than 2 goals a game. So he is giving you a point per game when your team is scoring less than 2. He is providing half of your offense here. And I know the contract. I don't care. It is what it is. Okay. You can't trade him. I don't want to, You trade Erik Karlsson. You can't trade Erik Karlsson, okay? Unless Erik Karlsson says he wants to leave. Anyway, you just enjoy Erik Karlsson. Like, he's so much fun to watch. And yes, he's going to make a bad play. And that's because he's trying to do too much. But then you have nights like this tonight where he single-handedly wins you the game. He provides the defensive play and then turn around and provides the offense on the same shift in overtime. And I know the delay over glass penalty, that was a bad play. The hooking was a really, really soft call. So I'm not gonna fault him for that one. The delay over glass, that's a bad play. You got to just get that off the glass, and not you can't miss there, especially with how tired the team was at that point. But Erik Karlsson there tonight was nights like tonight. Just it's good to see Erik Karlsson doing Erik Karlsson things. So he's so much fun. I love him. I know I talk about Erik Karlsson too much. He's so much fun though. He was great tonight. So let's get into kind of let's take a break really quick, and then I'll get into my apology to Logan Couture, and then we'll dig in more into this game and why, what the Sharks did really well in this game and kind of some stuff they still need to iron out. But a lot of positive takeaways to this game. We finally saw the stars, Timo Meier, Logan Couture, Erik Karlsson, Hurdle. We saw the stars performing and getting results. So let's take a quick break. Talk to you guys about our friends over at BetOnline. You guys know BetOnline is your number one source for betting football. And now with basketball season here, they have you covered as well. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth analysis on every game. And as always, BetOnline remains your continued source for all your sports wager information with live betting, which is always really fun, especially if a team that you think is going to win the game, maybe they get off to a slow start and you think they're going to come back and win it. Live betting is the way to go. I always like to live bet the Chiefs because I just always think the Chiefs are going to come back and win. But they're the fastest and easiest way to check on your favorite games and events. You have World Series starting. You got MMA. You got boxing, hockey, of course. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. And then when you guys are done listening to Locked On Sharks, thank you guys for making me your first listen. For your second listen, go check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast. From all the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard, behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. So Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. Okay. The other day I talked about I was a little worried about Logan. Well, I didn't say little. I was worried about Logan Couture and his line. And we saw a new line with him tonight. He played with Matt Nieto and Alexander Barabanov. And Logan Couture made me eat my words tonight. So one game, we'll move the worried meter back a little bit. Okay. Still can be a little worried. It's just a one-game sample, but Couture was awesome tonight. And right from the jump, scoring the first goal, great work by Nieto to kind of win his battle, and then Couture to finish it off there. I guess we're going to see Matt Nieto on the second line from here to eternity now, but that's a discussion for another day. But then Logan Couture really took advantage, especially on the power play. And I think Couture can still be really, really effective there. So I think with him, and tonight he had a tough matchup too. He was playing the Austin Matthews line, and they did well. So going to our friends at Old Natural Stat Trick. So the Lions got really jumbled up tonight because they were trying to kind of figure things out here a little bit, but Nieto, Couture, and Barabanov played the most 5-at-5 together. 10 shot attempts for and 9 against. We'll take that. Actual shots on goal 6-4. They had that goal, of course, in the first period. Expected goals 4.56. So compared to, and the expected goals given up 0.21. So great job by the Couture line. I apologize to you, Logan Couture. Congrats on your 300th career NHL goal. I'm not sorry Timo Meier stole your hat trick goal, but Timo Meier really needed a goal. But, Couture had an awesome night as well tonight with his 3 points. This line also produced 2 high danger chances for and gave up 0 at 5-on-5 as well. And here's the really, really encouraging part. 2 offensive zone starts, 3 neutral zones, 7 defensive zone starts. This line was getting put in the defensive zone constantly, and they had an awesome night tonight, especially against a very, very, we know how good the forwards are on the Maple Leafs. So way to go, Logan Couture. Again, I apologize. I was literally had your jersey up, but once Erik Karlsson scored the game winner, I had to swap. So Couture, yes. Let's see. Can we build on this, right? You're playing Tampa on Saturday, and then you got the Ducks coming up as well. The Ducks are not having a great start to their season, but you got Tampa on Saturday. So that's going to be another big task for you. So let's see if this line can kind of keep it going. So some of the other lines. So we're going to, again, like LeBanc was up playing with Hertl and Meier for a little bit, kind of a little squirrely whirly here with it. So the way they started out, the Svechnikov, Hertl, and Timo Meier line, Nieto, Couture, Banoff, Lindblom, Sturm, and Cunnin, and then Steven Lorentz, Jonah Gadovich, and Kevin LeBanc. That was how they started. Of course, things got all crazy, but so the Svechnikov, Hertl, Meier line, 7 shot attempts for, 5 given up. 3 shots for, 3 allowed. This is all at 5-on-5 again. And then they had the best zone. So they had 5 offensive zone starts, 3 neutral zone, and 3 defensive zone starts. Timo Meier tonight, just another animal for him. So he had 3 shots on goal, which I think he had like 3 shots on goal in the first period. So I don't know what happened there, but Erik Karlsson had 6 shots tonight. This is all at 5-on-5. Sorry. That's why. Shot attempts. Timo Meier had 6. So he had a bunch on the power play. Individual expected goal, Timo Meier at all situation, 0.56. So again, another monster night. We're seeing Timo. I think that 1 goal is going to do so much for him as he tries to kind of get this season on track here. So getting that first one is always hard. They play Tampa on Saturday, then they got the Ducks, and the schedule starts to kind of soften up a little bit here. So maybe Timo can get going. But back to the lines. And then Lindblom, Sturm, Cunnin, I thought played pretty well together. A little bit quieter than I think we usually see Sturm. I thought he was more noticeable out of those 3. Really, I don't know why there was a play where Sturm loses his stick on the boards, and he's going down to pick it up. Every time he goes down to pick it gets kicked 3 times before he's able to so he loses it on the boards, and he's not able to get it back until it's in front of the crease. And it made me laugh really hard. I clipped it, and it's on social media. I don't know why it made me laugh so hard, but good. Yeah, it's dumb. I'm sorry. That line played 807. They were mostly pretty solid. They had 4 offensive zone starts, 2 neutral zone, and 2 defensive zone starts. And then the Lorentz, Gadovich, LeBanc. Interesting to see with LeBanc where he was given a chance to go play with Svechnikov. I don't know if it was Svechnikov was benched or hurt or what was up with that, but he definitely, LeBanc was up there playing with Hertl and Meier at the end of the game, especially when they were trying to kind of get the game to overtime or try to, it was a tie game there. So kind of looking at his shift. Yeah, he didn't take a shift after like his first shift in the third period. I think like he got benched. So I don't know if it's injury related or he just got benched. I'm sure we'll probably find out some more soon. But yeah, the forwards, very interesting. Again, if the Sharks can turn into more than a one-line team, it's going to do it's like so much for them. And I know it kind of feels like rearranging chairs on the Titanic, but again, trying to find somebody who can play with Couture, and I guess right now it's going to be Matt Nieto for some reason, but Matt Nieto had a solid night tonight. So he had for expected goals, expected goals at 5-on-5. Matt Nieto had he was at 68% expected goals, so he was second on the team behind Couture. So Matt Nieto had a great night tonight. So helping to provide offense. What a world! But I think tonight, of course, Erik Karlsson really had it. Expected goals for 0.69. Like, how great is that for Erik Karlsson? And for some reason, like him and Megna just make like a great combination. So, I know Jacob Megna is definitely not my favorite defenseman, but of what they have right now, that pair is doing pretty solid. So, like pulling up their defensives. So, they were expected expected on ice, expected goals 4.35 for that pair. They did had 11 shot attempts for it. They did give up 10 shot attempts for themselves, but Corsi, again, they're doing their job, and that line's going to have to the Carlson Ferraro line. I guess I played a couple minutes, so that pair that's going to be your pair right now until Karlsson doesn't want to play with Jacob Megna anymore. Yes. Let's take one more break. And before we get into kind of final takeaways, what to look for this weekend, we've got two Barracuda games. We got a Barracuda game on Friday, Barracuda game on Saturday, and then the Sharks play the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we'll kind of give a really quick preview of that. And of course, my 3 fries of the week. I have a feeling you guys can probably guess who number 1 is going to be. But before we do that, let's go ahead, take a quick break, talk to you guys about our friends over at SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe. You guys, if you're trying to protect your house, SimpliSafe, the way to go. Numbers don't lie. In the last decade, over 4 million people have chosen SimpliSafe home security to protect their home. And the best thing about them, they have their cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back. Okay? 24/7 professional monitoring. A SimpliSafe agent calls you at the moment a threat is detected and will dispatch police or first responders in emergency. So even if you're not home, you can't be reached, they'll take care of you. They blanket your home with protection. There's sensors for every room, window, and door. They have the HD security cameras so you can check and see what's going on. And they have smarter ways to detect motion that will alert you when a threat is real. So that way, if you're not home, a squirrel runs behind your, in your backyard or something like that, they're not going to let you know. They're not going to alert you for that. And with their monitoring experts, they use proprietary advanced response technology to visually confirm when a break-in is real. So they'll see if somebody's in your house. That way they get the highest priority police dispatch. So customize the perfect system in your home. Just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/lockedonnhl. Save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan. Get your first month free. So visit simplisafe.com/lockedonnhl to learn more. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. All right, so the Sharks. So we got the Barracuda. 2 games this weekend. So Friday night. We'll do a. Here's what I found. Siri. We'll do a live stream after Friday night. Postcast to talk about the CUDA game. So still want, it's all about these young guys, Eklund, Bordelot, making sure that they are, developing. We saw Eklund have a monster game on Tuesday. I know he didn't fill up the box score, but he was everywhere, an absolute menace on the penalty kill, was all over the ice making plays. I wish we could have some fun advanced stats for that, but and Bordelot continuing, we see Bordelot kind of doing more of the box score filling. So both of these guys, I think, are having great starts to their Barracuda season. So, and then I like seeing Robbins up there on the second line with them. I want to kind of continue to see that. So see how these guys play, especially against Tucson. So they have games Friday and Saturday. I will be so Saturday I'm going to both the Sharks and the Barracuda game. I haven't decided if I'm going to leave the Sharks game early to get to the Barracuda game on time. I'll figure it out, but I'm going to be there. Maybe I'll do a little hey, come meet up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So Sharks, Barracuda this weekend. And then, yes, so the Sharks do play Tampa Saturday at 1:00. Tampa, a little slow to start their season, especially, but for them, I mean, we know with Tampa, it's all about the postseason for them. You don't get to 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row and win 2 without knowing what you're doing. So they beat the Ducks 4-2, lost to the Lightning, lost to the Kings on Tuesday, beat the Islanders, beat the Panthers, lost to the Flyers, lost to the Penguins. So lost to the Rain. Just a little slow from the Lightning getting going, but I'm not worried about them. They're still a really great team. They're going to be there at the end. We know this team is just loaded with absolute talent. So I'll run through their lines here really quick just to, make sure I get all my bases covered. Brandon Hagel, Braden Point, Kucherov, top line. Steven Stamkos, Nick Paul, Alex Gollorn, Cole Kopecky. Sorry, I probably screwed that up. Man, they have a lot of Russian guys that make me struggle with their names. Vladislav Namestnikov. I'm sorry. Ross Colton, Patrick Maroon, Bellemare, old friend Corey Perry, defense, Victor Hedman, Erik Karlsson, Svechkov, Perbix, Ian Cole, and Philip Myers. And then, of course, Vasilevsky and Elliott. Elliott played last game, so I assume Vasilevsky will play this game. Vasilevsky, really, really good. Also, I'm sorry I butchered the names. I grew up in the South. English is not my first language. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just bear with me with it. So, but they're, again, kind of like just their basic stats. I'm not going to deep dive into it right now too heavily, but just a little slow from Tampa Bay getting things going. Their power play right now, it's at 25%, pretty solid. Their PK is kind of middle of the pack right now at 82%. Goals per game, I think this is kind of because they're at 3 goals a game. This is, we know Tampa is kind of a very offensively gifted team. So again, they just a little slow getting things going here with the offense. So, I think Sharks going to definitely have their work cut out with them with how loaded this team is, especially if Vasilevsky plays because he's pretty good. So I don't expect good things for the Sharks, even though I know they played really well against the Maple Leafs here, but they also have Vasilevsky, so who can kind of cover for a lot of their mistakes. So unlike Toronto tonight, so expect a loss there. But then you have Barracuda play in the afternoon again. So fun weekend of hockey. We'll do a live stream on Friday night after a postcast after the Barracuda games. All vibes. Come hang out. I'll answer your questions. We'll talk about the CUDA. But before we get out of here, 3 fries of the week. And my third fry is it's Logan Couture. And you're gonna be like, well, that's really low. You're a third fry. It's my dumb game. So Couture, 2 goals tonight and another primary assist that probably was going to be a goal even if Timo Meier didn't tip it. If Timo Meier didn't tip it, it was probably still going to be a goal. But Couture, again, let's see. Now, can we start stacking a couple of these games together where your line is not getting absolutely crushed? But great job tonight, especially against a tough Toronto forward line. So great job by Couture, especially. And again, starting all those defensive primary zones, and you're still having positive shooting results. So good job by Couture. Second star, James Reimer. I know he lost. I'm going to just keep picking James Reimer because what James Reimer is doing right now is amazing. And especially with the kind of the mess of defense in front of him. I know Šimek's had a pretty solid start to his season, and Vlasic's been, much better than expected. But this defense is still kind of a mess. It's nowhere near like a shutdown type of unit. Reimer's been hanging in there, and he's been, kind of getting his butt kicked most nights. And he comes out to play every night. That dude's a gamer, and it's really sad when he gets traded somewhere to Edmonton or Toronto at the trade deadline. But number one, Erik Karlsson, you guys know, 3 points tonight. He is the engine of the Sharks offense right now. And the sooner you guys the Karlsson naysayers just realize that, like, Erik Karlsson's good. Yes, there's no way the man can be perfect every shift, every play. So let's stop nitpicking what he does wrong and just enjoy Erik Karlsson being Erik Karlsson and providing glorious moments like he did tonight. So that'll do it for me. We postcast tomorrow night. We'll be back on Monday to recap the Tampa Bay Lightning game. And then I think the Barracuda I think they're off like all next week until the following week. So I might be able to get a little bit of sleep. We shall see. I'll see if you're in San Jose on Saturday for the games. Like I said, maybe I'll try to do like a say hi or something like that. If people are interested, I might be thinking too highly of myself. Probably thinking too highly of myself. So, but anyway, if I see you at the game on Saturday, or if you see me, please come say hi. It makes me feel really awkward, but that people notice me. But please come say hi. And then that'll be it. Go check out Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Locked On Sharks. You can see all the clips. You can see Erik Karlsson's amazing hip check. It's awesome, and I watched it like 20 times already. Go check out that. Go check out Erik Karlsson's game winner if you missed it. You want to go see it. So, especially on Twitter, a little bit less on Instagram and Facebook, but listen, podcast, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey, all those places. Please leave a nice review. Makes me feel better about myself. So, see me in public, make me feel awkward. Leave a review. It makes me feel better. Follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole. Subscribe on YouTube. You guys know the deal. Until then, till tomorrow night, live show. Bye, friends.